As you can see, this didn't take an entire month to do. Welcome to Science Series number 7, Season 13. We got quite the lineup here, and I gotta say, I kind of underestimated you guys, because I added quite a few trucks. I went from 20 trucks to 28 trucks. Well, then again, usually I do 26 trucks, but I figured I'd do a smaller lineup since I thought I wouldn't be that relevant right now because I took an entire month to do my 8th video. But wow. I mean, where'd y'all come from? Anyways, the track is basically the same, except we got a double stack instead of the bridge, because the bridge was pretty much wrecked. Just figured I'd destroy what survived last time. And that pan will be back because it's still got some life in it. But anyways, here's a field of trucks. So, Pinchio 8 and Gravedigger, Devin Treat and Gravedigger Grandma, Antonio Rodriguez III and King Sling, Eric Crawford and Max D, Monster JVM and Megalodon, Carol Crane and Sparkle Smash, Championship Chase and JCB Digatron, Hobby Buddy 99 and Bigfoot, Cody Armstrong and Loco Punk, Mayhem Fan 33 and Jester, Cairo Harrison and Excalibur, and it's the return of the Wiggins, who are taking over Team Throttle Monster with Nathaniel Wiggins in Vendetta and Thomas Wiggins in Jurassic Attack, Nathan Webb and Captain USA, Shadow vs. Ghost and Hurricane Force, Temporary High and Monster Patrol, Power Forward and Carolina Crusher, and here's where we get to the trucks that were added, Collector Racing and Dodge Charger, Kenny DMJ Fan 1203 and Bad Habit, Mark Wolf 05 Studios and Monster Vet. Tripping over my words here. Mr. Random in Full Charge, Hayden James Nosecut and Horsepower, Crime Scene Gaming and Overkill Evolution, Monster Jam Fan 2539 and Brodozer, and Floppa Gaming Vids and Mohawk Warrior. So yeah, quite the lineup. Look out for these three. And 3 muscle cars against the rest of the lineup. I can't wait any longer. Let's do this. This is round number 1 of Monster Truck Racing. Kicking things off in round 1 with an 80s race with Excalibur in the yellow lane and Monster Vet in the red lane. We haven't seen this truck for a while. Former world champion here on this channel. Let's see what he can do here. Props for Monster Vet and Excalibur. Advances to round number 2. Man, this logo looks good on camera. Alright, next up for round 1, we're not horsing around, we're not fooling around. Horsepower in the yellow lane and Jester in the red lane. Horsepower being another name that hasn't run for a while. I was trying to run names that haven't been run for some time, because I figured it'd get boring if I didn't. So anyway, is Horsepower, Jester. Make sure they're straight, and down they go. And it's going to be Horsepower. Looks like the yellow lane is the lucky lane, which he's going to have some problems later on, because either Excalibur or Horsepower is going to be in that lane. It's got to be either one. Oh, the Christmas trees are already gone. Alright, next up in round 1, we got Vendetta racing in the yellow lane, taking on Sparkle Smash in the red lane, who's running an all-new pickup look. Yeah, had to get these from Alabama. What? Why you guys not bring anything good to Missouri? Anyways, down they go. And Sparkle Smash lifting the red lane curse, and Vendetta spins out, unable to process what just happened. So Sparkle Smash will advance to round 2. Alright, next up, racing out of the yellow lane is Bigfoot, and in the red lane is Bad Habit. Another name that hasn't been run for a long time. So we got the Ford taking on the Jeep. Down they go. And the Jeep takes down the Ford. Bad Habit advancing to round 2. And next up in round 1, we got the all-new Calavera racing out of the yellow lane. I believe this came from Hobby Lobby. It came with the 2 trucks from Alabama, from my family. And he's got to go through Monster Patrol in order to advance to round 2. Who's been struggling for quite some time. Looking to change his luck here. Down he goes. Well, he's not going to get the win here. Calavera moving on to round 2. And next up, we got Jurassic Attack in the yellow lane running that all-new green body. You can get this on Team Throttle Monster's website. We got Gravedigger Grandma in the other lane, matching the awesome retro hat I have on. Yeah, I found it on eBay. Yeah, had to flex that. Anyways, Jurassic Attack, Gravedigger, down they go. And problems for Gravedigger and Jurassic Attack will advance to round 2. Alright, next up, got a whole new look for Loco Punk, the Glow in the Dark edition. Racing out of the yellow lane, taking on Full Charge in the red lane, the white edition. I've yet to find the blue one. I hope to find it. It's been a while since this truck has run. Let's see what he can do. And they switch lanes, and Loco Punk will take the win. I should have put the down ramp there. I put it way too far back. Alright, once again, another name we haven't seen for a while, Brodozer in the red lane, taking on King Sling in the yellow lane. This will be a good one. Zoomy Headers taking on the Diesel Power. This is basically a truck and tractor pull, except they don't compete against each other like that. But anyways. And problems for Brodozer and King Sling will advance to round 2. Brodozer will be a perfect truck for the sled pull because, well, both the trucks and tractors are diesel powered. But he will not be moving on to round 2. And next up, we got Salvager racing out of the yellow lane, my favorite Spin Master concept, taking on a Dodge Charger in the red lane. The Fast and Furious edition because, well, it was the first one I saw. Got those awesome those slick tires, which may be a big advantage for him or a big disadvantage. We're about to find out as he takes on the Salvager. Down they go. And he actually did pretty well, but oh wait. And he gets the win. I thought it was Salvager for a second, but then he backed up. So yeah, Dodge Charger advancing to round 2. And next up for round 1, we got Overkill Evolution in the yellow lane, taking on Max D in the red lane, who's already gotten 2 wins this year. Looking to get another one, but Overkill Evolution is also looking for a win after taking a break from the series for a while. Down they go, and they touch in midair, but Overkill Evolution is going to advance to round 2. And before anyone gets excited, it's just a chassis swap. And it's not that bad. And next up for round 1, we got JCB Diggertron in the yellow lane, taking on Double Decker in the red lane. And it's going to be JCB Diggertron taking down Double Decker, which is another truck that hasn't run for a while. And hopefully he'll have better luck in the next competition, assuming I don't bring it back as a fast loser. But for now, Diggertron is going to round 2. I almost said the finals. Alright, next up for round 1, we got Carolina Crusher making a comeback, looking for a second chance in the yellow lane, taking on Hurricane Force in the red lane, another name we haven't seen for a while, and especially this look. This is a custom I did. I thought it looks cool. I still think it looks cool. I don't know where that yellow paint came from. But anyways, Ford versus Chevrolet, hey, Crusher versus Force. Which is funny because in TNT Unfinished Business, Hurricane Force ran as Carolina Crusher. They called the body Porter Force. Anyways, down I go. And Carolina Crusher will advance to round 2. Alright, we got 2 races left before we move on to round 2. Let's finish this. Alright, next up in round 1, we got Captain USA racing out of the yellow lane, taking on Mohawk Warrior in the red lane. Another name we haven't seen on the channel in a while. The Captain versus the Warrior. Down they go. And the Warrior takes down the Captain. Mohawk Warrior advancing to round 2. And I can already see there's not going to be a fast loser race, so yeah. And finishing off round number 1, we got Gravedigger Chrome in the yellow lane, taking on Megalodon in the red lane. The pickup version, which I knew they were going to do this. And it looks pretty good. Anyways, Digger versus Megalodon. Down they go. All problems for Gravedigger. And Megalodon advances to round 2. Alright, that concludes round number 1. There are no fast loser races, so let's just get right into it. Alright, here we go. Round number 2. Excalibur in the yellow lane. Horsepower in the red lane. And Excalibur staying strong. Horsepower not having enough horsepower to get over the speed bump. So Excalibur will move on to round 2. Or 3. Alright, this is round 2, my bad. And next up, Bad Habit in the yellow lane, Sparkle Smash in the red lane. And they collide in the air, and Sparkle Smash will advance to round 3. And next up for round 2, Calavera in the yellow lane, Jurassic Attack in the red lane. And it's going to be Calavera. And next up in round 1, round 1, what am I saying? Round 2, Loco Punk in the yellow lane, King Sling in the red lane. And problems for King Sling and Loco Punk will advance to round 3. Alright, 2 trucks that weren't originally going to be in this. Overkill in the yellow lane, Charger in the red lane. And Dodge Charger staying strong with those racer slicks. Yeah. Alright, things are starting to get interesting. Next race, Degatron in the yellow lane, Carolina Crusher in the red lane. And it matches both sides. And problems for Crusher, Degatron advancing to round 3 to take on Dodge Charger. That's going to be a good one. Well, it looks like there's going to be a fast loser race in this after all. Next up, Megalodon taking on Mohawk Warrior. This is the last race, round 2. And Megalodon will advance to round 3. Now let's go do that fast loser race. Alright, this is probably going to be the only fast loser race. Yeah, it is. So we got Monster Vet, Jurassic Attack, and Double Decker. Just pulled 3 random trucks out of the bag, and this is what I got. And your winner is Jurassic Attack. Alright, round 3. Excalibur taking on Sparkle Smash. And Excalibur still staying strong. Sparkle Smash, not as much. Next up, Calavera taking on Loco Punk. Yeah, they keep touching in midair. But Loco Punk is going to get the win out of it. Yep. Had to see it from the other side. And next up, JCB Degatron taking on Dodge Charger. This will be a good one. And problem for Dodge Charger, Degatron going to the semifinals. And last up for round 3, Megalodon taking on Jurassic Attack. And they both go off to the side. Megalodon trying to get over the speed bump, but he couldn't make it. Jurassic Attack advancing to the semifinals. And this is the semifinals. Excalibur taking on Loco Punk. And Excalibur is going to the finals. And last race of the semifinals. Who's going to face Excalibur? Will it be Degatron? Will it be Jurassic Attack? And what a finish they both go over. But it's going to be JCB Degatron. Alright, all comes down to this. 2 trucks, but only 1 winner. Let's meet our competitors. Racing out of the yellow lane is Cairo Harrison and Excalibur. And in the red lane is Championship Chase and JCB Degatron. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. Let's go racing. And putting an end to Excalibur's winning streak, it's JCB Degatron. Just when I thought it was going to be Excalibur, who stayed strong the entire time, then comes Degatron. And he's going to celebrate by going for the double. Oh, he keeps it on all 4. Alright, well that concludes racing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Congratulations to Championship Chase and Degatron. And can he double down in triple threat racing, which is next? You don't want to miss it.